Hi, everyone. Welcome. This is the first time that I'm doing a recorded class, so I hope that it goes well. Fingers crossed. Happy Friday. And I guess we'll just jump right in. So we're going to be doing some twisting work tonight, really focusing on the hips and the stability in the legs, and then kind of feeling how that remains as we bring the twist into the upper body. And I'll walk you through it, of course. But we'll start seated. So find a comfortable seat, whatever seat works for you. You can prop up the hips on a blanket. You can sit kneeling with a block between the heels, whatever works best. And then once you found your seat, just take the palms to the knees of the thighs and let the eyes close. And just allow yourself to feel rooted in the hips, soft in the legs, grounding down into the earth. And observe that as your legs and the hips really settle to the ground, the torso, the spine, the rib cage, the shoulders can gently rise up from that foundation. In every pose that we practice, there is an element of effort and an element of ease. And just begin to watch your breath here. Just following the inhales and following the exhales. Just getting a picture of the breath tonight. And then with that awareness on the breath, keep the palms together in front of the chest and press the base of the thumbs into the breastbone. Maybe you sit a little taller, maybe you soften the shoulders down any amount further. And take a deep, full inhale. Open the mouth and sigh the breath out. Maybe the shoulders soften a little more with the exhale. And then release the palms down to the knees of the thighs and blink the eyes open. From here, we'll find a tabletop shape. So come to your hands and knees. If you'd like some cushion for the knees, a blanket is great, or you can roll over the mat in the center. And I'll show that here. Palms come under the shoulders, knees are under the hips, spine is long. And then press into the palms, take the gaze a little bit ahead of the hands to lengthen the neck. And then on your inhale, reach the hips up and back, drop the belly down and take the chest and the gaze forward. Maybe you pull the shoulder blades in towards the spine. On the exhale, scoop the tailbone under, pull the belly into the spine and tuck the chin into the chest. And then inhale, arch again, reach the hips back, belly down, chest forward. And exhale, round. Then we'll start to move between those two shapes on our own breath. So your inhale, your exhale, letting that breath guide the movement. Just warming up the spine, synchronizing the breath and the body. And if you feel inclined to sort of rock a little side to side in the hips, maybe you roll the neck as you move through your cat and cow, all of that is fine. Maybe you barrel roll the ribs. Take 2 more rounds. And then at the base of the exhale, find your flat back, your tabletop. You can take whatever cushion you've got out from underneath the knees. Lock the hands a little bit forward. Tuck the toes and reach the hips up and back for downward facing dog. And the first down dog is always one to sort of take stock. So widen the feet, bend into the knees, almost like you're going to spring forward, and allow yourself to press into the palms. Maybe you pedal the feet, you lift one heel, then the other, nice and slow with that pedaling. Feeling the heels get heavy, feeling the knees bend. And then settle into your down dog for a full breath in. And a full breath out. At the base of the exhale, bend the knees a little bit more, take the gaze forward and walk the feet up, come into the top of the mat. Feet are going to be about hips width apart. You can take 2 fists between the arches of the feet to make sure you're in a relatively hips width stance. Take an inhale, lift the spine halfway. And exhale, soften the knees, fold forward. Press into the feet, slowly rise up to stand. When the shoulders cross the hips, take an inhale and reach the arms up overhead. Then exhale, hands come to the sides for Tadasana or mountain pose. Now from here, step the feet a little closer together. Cross your right leg in front of your left and really plant your right foot. So you're rooted down through the sole of that right foot. Your left foot might even kind of roll out towards the pinky side a little bit. From here, soften the knees, take a breath and lift the chest. Then on the exhale, hinge at the hips, letting the hands come down to the floor or to blocks. So you're still planted in this front leg. That's really bearing most of the weight of the pose here. And you might feel this stretch along the outer back leg or the outer left hip, outer left thigh. If you'd like a little more sensation along that part of the back leg, you can walk your hands off to the right. So you're sort of twisting over the legs here. Take a full breath in. Full breath out. And then gently walk the hands back to center. Press into that front foot and just slowly rise back up to stand. And then you can uncross the legs, shake the legs out. Come back to your stance and switch. So your left leg comes in front of the right, really plants that left foot. Let that be the grounding. Take a breath in. And exhale, hinge forward to fold. Soften the knees for that fold. So we're not locking out the knees here. And really press or root down through your front foot. And maybe that back foot sort of rolls towards the pinky a little bit and you feel a stretch in the outer right hip. That back leg, right along the IT band, outer knee, the quads on the outside. And if you'd like a deeper or more intense sensation, you walk the hands off to the left. So you're sort of crossing over those legs. Take a full breath in. Full breath out. And then walk the hands back to center, press into your left foot and rise, come all the way back to stand. And then we'll find the Tadasana mountain pose shape, taking the feet so that the toes are pointed a little bit in. You can lift the toes, spread them wide, soften them down. And then hands come to the sides. From here, take an inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Then on the exhale, fold forward, soften the knees as much as you'd like. Inhale to lift halfway. You can take the hands to the shins, reach the crown of the head forward, and exhale, bend the knees, plant the palms, step the right foot back, and tap the right knee down. Press into the legs as you reach the arms up, inhaling, low lunge. On the exhale, release the hands down and frame that front foot. Now you can tuck the back toes and lift the back knee if you want a full plank, or you keep it down for tabletop. We all send the left leg back, high plank, or the knees are down, but wherever you are, take a breath, press into the palms. And on the exhale, you lower all the way down to the belly. Hands come forward, palms are facing down, elbows are under the shoulders. Press into the palms and the tops of the feet. You'll feel the knees lift here. Take an inhale, drag the hands towards the chest. As the chest is dragged forward, keep the gaze forward, stay for the exhale, and wrap the shoulders back around the spine. Take another breath in, Sphinx pose, and then exhale, release. The hands shift back on either side of the ribs. Tuck the toes, lift the belly, and press back, downward facing dog. Your next inhale, you'll send the right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Your next exhale, pull the knee into the chest and step the foot between the hands. The back knee taps down. You can always tap that knee down first for that transition. On the inhale, sweep the arms up, low lunge. Then on the exhale, interlace the fingers, the palms come to your front thigh. Now press into the thigh and press into this foot. Send the hips back to come out of the lunge. Keep the legs rooted, and then inhale, reach the arms up overhead. On your exhale, turn the chest and the belly to the right, reaching the arms wide to twist over that front leg. Inhale, come back to center, face forward. Exhale, twist again to the right. One more time, inhale, reach up, face forward. And exhale, twist. Now inhale, come back up to center. Exhale, release the hands down, frame the front foot, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and step forward. Take an inhale to lift halfway. Exhale to fold. Press into the feet and rise up. Inhale, reach the arms. And exhale, mountain pose, Tadasana. Again, inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to lift half back, halfway up. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the palms, step the left foot back, tap the left knee down. Inhale, sweep the arms up, low lunge. Exhale, release the hands down, and again, tuck the back toes if you'd like, lift the knee or keep it down. Step the right foot back, plank or a long tabletop. Take a breath in, press into the palms, and on the exhale, lower to the belly. Shift the hands a little bit back so they're on either side of the upper ribs. Pull the elbows in towards the ribs, press into the tops of the feet. Take an inhale, lift the chest, lift the gaze, cobra. And then exhale, release. Tuck the toes, lift the belly, press back, downward facing dog. Next inhale, left leg sweeps up and back. Next exhale, pull the knee into the chest, step the foot between the hands, tap the back knee down. Inhale, sweep the arms up, low lunge. Exhale, release or interlace the fingers, take the palms to the front thigh, press into the thigh and the foot, send the hips back. Rooting through the legs, take an inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, twist to your left, arms come wide. Inhale, come back to center, face forward. Exhale again, twist to the left. One more time, inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist. Good, this time inhale, come back to center. And exhale, release the hands down. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, step forward. Take an inhale to lift halfway. And exhale to fold. Press into the feet, rise up, inhale. And exhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. One more sun salutation, this time A. Take an inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale to lift halfway. Exhale, bend the knees, hands come down, step one foot, then the other back. So we're right into our plank or our tabletop, wherever you are, pause, take a breath, press into the palms, hollow the navel. And on your exhale, it's your choice. You can come down to the belly, or you can shift the shoulders forward, bend the elbows until you're hovering above the floor in chaturanga. On your inhale, you're either coming into cobra, belly down, or upward facing dog, hips off the ground. On the exhale, roll over the toes, send the hips back, downward facing dog. And then take a breath or two here. Maybe you paddle the feet. Maybe you tap the knees down. Maybe you take a seat or a forward fold. Good. Full breath in. Full breath out. And then if you've come out of your down dog, just find your way back into it. You can pedal the feet, get settled. And then step the feet a little wider, about as wide as the mat, bend the knees, and walk the hands back towards the feet, or you can walk the feet towards the hands, whichever one's easier for you. You're in a short, bent knee, down dog, wide legs. Take a breath in here. And on the exhale, reach the right arm underneath and across the body. Grab hold of the outside of your left leg. It could be the calf, the ankle, it could be the heel. Press into this left arm firmly on the inhale. And exhale, take the gaze underneath your left armpit and up towards the ceiling. Full breath in. And exhale, release that right hand back to center, short, wide, down dog. Take a breath. Exhale, left hand sweeps underneath and across the body. Grab hold of the outside of your right leg. Take a breath in here, press into the right hand. Exhale, gaze underneath that right armpit and up towards the ceiling. Full breath in. And exhale, release that left hand forward, short, wide, down dog. Last inhale. And then exhale, step the feet back to their sort of regular down dog length. You can pedal the feet out. Press into the palms. Reach the hips back. Take a breath. And then step the feet together so the big toes are touching. Take an inhale to lift the heels. On the exhale, bend the knees deeply forward. Gaze forward on empty. You step, or you hop to the top of the mat. Either way is great. Take an inhale, lift halfway. And exhale to fold. Press into the feet and rise up. Inhale. Exhale, mountain pose or Tadasana. Now take a look at your space. Make sure you got blocks. If you don't have blocks, a really great option is 2 water bottles, like a Nalgene sized water bottle. We want a little height. Just have blocks nearby. And then find the top of your mat. Take the big toes a little bit in. Lift the toes, spread them wide, soften them down, and hands come to the sides. Take a full breath in mountain pose. Feel the feet ground down into the floor on the exhale. Next inhale, sweep the arms forward and up. Next exhale, bend the knees, sink the hips down and back for chair pose. Take an inhale to lift halfway. Lift the chest, on the exhale, ground into the soles of the feet. Next inhale, breathe into the backs of the ribs, hollow the navel. And exhale, maybe the hips reach back a little bit more. Good, one more breath in. And on the exhale, hands come together, fold forward. Now we inhale to lift halfway. And on the exhale, bend the knees, plant the palms. You can step, or hop it back, whatever you've got in your practice. This time it's your choice of vinyasa. So you can lower to the belly, you can lower through chaturanga, you can go right into downward facing dog. It's up to you. But downward facing dog is where we meet. Lately, my favorite variation for a vinyasa is taking a cat-cow as that back bend. Full breath when you arrive. Full breath out. Next inhale, send the right leg up and back, 3-legged dog, and then listen carefully. On your exhale, keep the leg lifted, toes are pointed down. Shift the shoulders forward so you're in a 3-legged plank. This can also be a 3-legged table. It's absolutely up to you. Wherever you are, hollow the navel, so pull the belly in, reach back to the heel, take a breath. And on the exhale, pull that right knee towards your right elbow. Inhale, kick the legs straight back. Keep the belly engaged. Good. Exhale, knee to your left elbow. Inhale, kick it back. And then exhale, knee comes in between the elbows. Press into the palms, lift the knee a little higher, and step the foot down. Tap the back knee down. Scooch this front foot a little bit forward, just a touch. And then tent the fingers. Take an inhale, lift the chest, lift the gaze. Exhale, sink into the feet. Now your left hand stays down, your right arm reaches up. Inhale. And exhale, land. Take another breath in. And on the exhale, release that right hand down. We're back in our sort of lungy shape. From here, tuck the back toes and lift the back knee. Take an inhale, tent the fingers, lift the chest, lift the gaze. And exhale, spin the back heel down, press into the feet, and rise up to your warrior two. Now your warrior two, your front heel is roughly in line with the middle of your back foot, or your back arch. Your back toes are slightly turned in and forward towards the top corner of the mat. And your knee is bent more or less to the point that you've got a right angle. The real goal here is that you can root into the feet and engage the legs. This is the foundation. Once you feel like you have that, the arms come wide. Reach out to the fingers, take the gaze over the middle finger of the front hand and take a full breath in. Land in the pose on the exhale, let the feet settle. Take another breath in. And another breath out. Now keep the front knee bent, flip the front palm, reach it back, inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, come all the way back to warrior two, take a breath. And on the exhale, your right elbow comes to your right thigh. Your left arm sweeps alongside the left ear. Extended side angle pose. Take a breath here. And then on your exhale, your top hand comes to your top hip and grab one of your blocks. I really like the highest height for this, but whatever you like for height. Now press into that bottom hand. Use it as support for the upper body so we can focus on the legs. Take a breath in here. On your exhale, send your mind's eye into your feet. Find your front heel and root it to the floor. Find the pinky toe side of your back foot and root it to the floor. That's going to spin the hips a little bit out to the left. To balance that work, find your outer right hip and imagine you could drag it back towards the back of the mat, but stay rooted in that front heel. Find your outer left hip and imagine you could drag it forward towards the top of the mat, but stay rooted in your left big toe, left pinky toe. So that balances out the rotation and keeps the low back long. Take a breath in. And on the exhale, sweep that left arm alongside the left ear. Extended side angle pose with a firm foundation. Full inhale. Full exhale. Base of the exhale, press into the feet, windmill the arms up, warrior two, and then right away, flip the front palm, extend the front leg, inhale, reverse triangle pose. Exhale, come all the way back to stand. Bend into this front knee again. Warrior two, take a breath. And exhale, windmill the hands down, lift that back heel so you find a runner's lunge shape. And then tap the back knee down. So we're back in this shape, this sort of lunge with the knee down. You're gonna stay where you are. Scooch your right foot towards the right side of the mat. So if we started here, there's just a little toe heel action that takes us out with this front leg. Turn your toes out a little bit, and then take a block or a book or something under your left hand. You could rest here with this elbow if you want, just kind of lean into this stretch, but we're gonna take it into a twist. So on your inhale, reach the right arm up. Exhale, flip the palm away from you, reach the fingers back behind you to find the twist. Now keep rooting through that bottom hand, rooting through the legs, and reaching through the right arm. If you have the space and you want a little bit more intensity in the sensation, you bend this back knee, and if the foot is there, you can grab it. The only thing to know about this variation is that the weight should not be directly on your back kneecap. It should be a little bit higher than that. Think of like the lower portion of the thigh. Wherever you are, take a breath in. Then a breath out. And then gently release the foot if you've got it. Hand comes to the inside of your right foot and you wiggle this right foot back between the hands. Grab your second block. I like the second height for this, but you could do the third height as well, or the lowest height. Scoot your hands back a little bit and roll onto your front heel. Shift the hips back, flex the toes towards the face. Keep a little bend in this front knee. Take some weight into the hands and inhale, lift the chest, lift the gaze, lengthen the spine. On the exhale, soften the elbows and imagine you could lay the belly on the inside of the front thigh. So we're keeping the length in the torso as we fold. We have a nice stretch in the front leg, hamstrings, the outer front leg. Sometimes I wiggle this front foot forward a little bit if it feels a little short. Take a breath. And then from here, maybe you press into the hands, you come out of the fold a little bit. Take your mind's eye into the front foot, press this heel down, and try to drag this outer right hip back towards the wall behind you. The foot will not move. What you'll feel instead is the leg engaging as we stretch the hamstrings, and perhaps that entire outer right line of the leg gets stretched. Take a full breath in. A full breath out. And then soften the front knee a little bit. Bend into it fully. Push the blocks off to the side. Frame the foot with the hands. Tuck the back toes. Lift the back knee. And inhale, send that right leg up and back. Three-legged dog, right back to where we started. Turn the toes out to the right. Bend the knee. And send the knee up towards the ceiling to open that hip. Next inhale, reach that leg up and back. And next exhale, soften the foot down, downward facing dog. And you can take a couple petals of the feet. If you want to shift forward for a vinyasa, that's great. If you want to tap the knees down, that's great too. Wherever you are, take a full breath. And then find your way back into down dog if that's not where you already are. Establish your down dog. Next inhale, sweep the left leg up and back, three-legged dog. On the exhale, keep the leg lifted, shift the shoulders forward, three-legged plank or three-legged table, it's up to you. Press into the palms, take a breath, hollow the navel. Exhale, left knee comes to your left elbow. Keep the belly engaged as you reach that left leg back, inhale. Exhale, pull the knee towards your right elbow. Inhale, kick the leg straight back. Exhale, pull the knee into the chest, in between the elbows, press into the palms, lift the knee a little higher, and step the foot down. Tap the back knee down. Scooch this foot forward. Tent the fingers, lift the chest, lift the gaze, inhale. Exhale, soften into this stance. Good. And then your right hand stays down, your left arm reaches up. Inhale. Stay for the exhale. Take another breath in. And exhale, release that left hand down. We're back in this lunge shape. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, runner's lunge. I always want to say lunge. Take an inhale to lift the chest a little, lift the gaze. Exhale, spin the back heel down, press into the feet, and rise up to your warrior two. And I find I often have to readjust the feet just a little bit. That's fine. Take a look at your stance. Rooted in the legs. Arms come wide, gaze comes forward. Inhale. And exhale. One more breath. One more breath out. Stay bent in the front knee, flip the front palm. Inhale, reverse warrior, reach that left arm up and back. Exhale, come all the way back to warrior two, take a breath. Then exhale, left elbow comes to left thigh, right arm sweeps alongside the right ear, extended side angle. Take a breath. Exhale, top hand comes to that top hip. Your left hand finds a block on the outside of your left foot. Take an inhale here. And on the exhale, take the mind's eye into your feet. Find your front heel and root it down. Find the pinky toe side of your back foot and root it down. And notice how that spins the belly out to the side. To counter and balance that work, find your left hip. That's the front leg, outer hip. Imagine you could drag it towards the back of the mat. Find your right hip, your back leg hip, and imagine you could drag it forward, and notice how that turns the hips a little bit forward and down. Take a breath. And on the exhale, sweep that right arm alongside the right ear. Maybe you roll the top shoulder back. Take a full breath, extended side angle. Stay for the exhale. Base of the exhale, press into the feet and rise up to warrior two. And then flip this left palm, extend the left leg. Inhale, reverse triangle pose. Exhale, come all the way back to stand. Bend into the front knee, take a breath. Exhale, windmill the hands down, runner's lunge. Lift that back heel, tap that back knee down. You will be scooching your left foot towards this left corner of the mat. Your right hand comes onto the block, the block comes out of the hand. And then press into that block. Give yourself that support with the arms. Inhale, sweep the left arm up overhead. Exhale, flip the palm away from you, reach the fingers behind you. Twisting quad stretch. If you'd like to try to find the bind here, you bend into the back knee. If the foot is there, you can hold on to it. Again, noticing, are we resting on that kneecap of the back leg? If you find that happening, one quick adjustment is to tuck the toes, scooch the knee back a little bit, and try again. Take a full breath in, full breath out. And then gently release that back foot down. Take the left hand to the inside of your left foot and wiggle the foot between the hands. Grab your second block, walk the hands back, and roll onto your front heel. Flex the toes towards the face. Maybe you wiggle this foot forward. Take an inhale to lift the spine. Lengthen the spine as you lift the gaze. And exhale for the fold. Soften the elbows. Keep the length in the spine, which means that you're sort of laying the torso along that inner front thigh. So as opposed to rounding from the shoulders, we're staying lifted out of the hips as we fold. Every forward fold has a little bit of back bend right around the hips. It keeps the spine and the low back long, accentuating the stretch of the back body. Take a full breath in. Full breath out. And then press into the hands to lift the chest and lift the gaze. We'll take that hip engagement here also. So press into your front heel, root it down. And then imagine you could drag your outer left hip back towards the back of the mat. We're moving the joints in two different directions away from each other to build length and strength in the leg. Take a full breath in. Full breath out. And then soften that front knee. Bend into it fully. Plant the foot. Frame the foot with the hands. Tuck the back toes. Lift the back knee. And send that left leg up and back. Three-legged dog. Inhaling. Exhale, you can turn the toes out to the left and bend the knee, sending the knee up towards the ceiling. Next, inhale, reach that leg straight up and back, point the toes down, soften the foot, downward facing dog. Take a full breath here. Good. And from here, step the feet together so the big toes are touching. Take an inhale, lift the heels up away from the floor. And on the exhale, bend the knees deeply forward, gaze forward. On empty, you step, step, or you hop to the top of the mat. Take an inhale to lift halfway. And exhale to fold. Press into the feet and rise up. Inhale. And exhale to Tadasana, mountain pose. And now from the top of your mat, I've turned myself around, but you're still on the top of your mat. Just take a gaze at the feet. Toes are a little bit turned in. Hands are at the sides. Take an inhale, sweep the arms forward and up. Exhale, bend the knees, sink the hips down and back, chair pose. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the gaze. Exhale, settle into the feet. Take another breath in here. And on the exhale, hands come together, but you twist to your right. Your left elbow touches or crosses over your right knee. And if you got that cross, press the knee into the elbow and press the elbow into the knee to really firm and support that leg and hip. If the wrists are getting a little sensitive, you take one hand into a fist. You press the fist and the palm together. Take an inhale. Imagine you could reach the crown of the head forward towards the front of the room. Stay for the exhale. Take another breath in. And then exhale, release the twist, fold forward. Inhale to lift halfway. Exhale, bend the knees, take the hands to the ground and step the left foot back, coming right into our runner's lunge shape. Inhale, 10th of fingers, lift the chest, lift the gaze. And exhale, go round into the feet. Base of the exhale, soften into your back knee a little bit, press off the feet and rise up to a high lunge. Take a breath in and a breath out. Inhale, lift the fingers and the hips a little bit. And on the exhale, spin the back heel down. Open the arms up for a warrior two. There's a good chance we're gonna have to shift the front foot a little bit back to center to bring the feet into our warrior two alignment. Arms come wide, gaze comes forward. Full breath in. And full breath out. Flip the front palm, extend the front leg, and inhale for reverse triangle pose. Exhale, come all the way back to stand. Keep the legs long, a little bit of softness in the knees here. Reach out through the fingers, take a breath. And exhale, hinge over that front leg. Your right hand, your front hand, comes to a block on the outside of the front foot. And I'm gonna turn around so you can see this from the front as well. Your left arm reaches up to start. This is Trikhanasana, triangle pose. Take a breath here. And then exhale, top hand comes to your top hip. I'm gonna turn myself around, but you're staying where you are. Take a breath. Send your mind's eye into the feet. Find your front big toe knuckle and root it down. Find your outer right hip and imagine you could traction it back. Find the pinky toe side of your back foot and root it down. And then find your outer left hip and imagine you could traction it forward. And then press into the bottom hand, take a breath. And exhale, sweep that left arm up towards the ceiling. The legs are the foundation. And as we breathe here, maybe that top shoulder opens up, maybe the gaze comes up towards the ceiling. And the legs are spiraling to build length and stability. Take a full breath in. Full breath out. And then base of that exhale, soften the knees, press into the feet, and slowly rise up to stand. You can keep the legs long here. Turn your right toes towards the long edge of the mat. Toes are slightly turned in, just a little. Keep the knees soft. Inhale and breathe into the backs of the ribs. On the exhale, fold forward. And you can take the hands down to the floor or to blocks, whichever one feels more supportive to your practice. Just relax the head, the neck, and the shoulders. Maybe you press into the outer heels. Notice how that lengthens the legs, supports the low back. Full breath in. Full breath out. And then walk the hands under the shoulders and tuck the fingers, lift the torso halfway. Bend into the knees a little and walk the hands up to frame your front foot. So I turned myself around so I could see you, but it's your right leg that's still forward. Everything is the same. We're back in our runner's lunge, and I want you to grab your blocks. Take one under each hand. Step your back foot a little bit to the left. And then press into the palms, press into the front foot, and inhale, lengthen that front leg. This is a modified pyramid pose. Your back heel is lifted. Exhale, bend into the front knee. And inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend. This time, inhale, lengthen. And on the exhale, you spin the back heel down. You can still step this back foot a little bit forward and a little bit out to the left for a shorter, wider pyramid pose. That helps us to ground into the feet and keep the hips sort of neutral, square-esque. Press into the palms. Take an inhale, lift the chest, lift the gaze, lengthen the spine. And if you're folding here on the exhale, you soften the elbows, or maybe you drop to a lower height. Maybe you walk the blocks a little forward. But can you keep the length of the spine instead of relying on the rounding in the shoulders? Now, to support this shape, we need firm, stable legs. So find your big toe of the front foot, the knuckle of that toe, root it down. Same thing, wrap your outer right hip back. Find the pinky toe side of the back foot and root it down. Wrap your outer left hip forward. And notice how that builds the same shape. Right? The hips are coming back to this sort of neutral square position, but we have the legs supporting us, and then we can really fold over them. Take another breath in here. And another breath out. If you're in a deep fold, walk your hands back onto the blocks if they're not there. Press into the hands and lift the torso halfway. Lengthen. I just turn myself around so I can see you and you can see me. You're going to take your left hand block to the center of the mat towards your front foot. And then make a thumbs up sign with your right hand. Hook this thumb into your right hip crease and wrap the fingers around your hip. Imagine you could roll the muscles and the flesh of the hip back. That's what the muscles are doing in the action. Keep this hand here. Press into your bottom hand. Take an inhale, lift the chest, lift the gaze. And then exhale, maybe this right arm comes up to the ceiling. So this is a modified version, a supported version of our revolved triangle or revolved pyramid. The legs are rooted, the torso is twisting. Take a full breath in, full breath out, and then exhale, release this right hand down. Scoot your left hand back over, block under each hand, soften the front knee, wiggle the back foot back, runner's lunge. And maybe you shift a little bit forward, you shift a little bit back. From here, walk the hands a little forward with those blocks, press off the back foot and step it up to meet the right. Take an inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, let's bend the knees a little in this fold. Relax the head, the neck, the shoulders. Remind the legs how to bend the knees. And then press into the feet, slowly rise up to stand. Inhale. And exhale. Tadasana, mountain pose. We've got one more side of this. Just going to turn myself around again. Find your Tadasana shape. Inhale, sweep the arms forward and up. Exhale, bend the knees, sink the hips down and back for chair pose. Inhale to lift a little bit higher in the chest. Exhale, ground into the feet. Now take an inhale here. And on your exhale, hands come together, twist to your left. Your right elbow touches or crosses over that left knee. Palms come together or one hand is in a fist. Maybe you press the knee and the elbow together to stabilize this left hip. Take a breath in. Full breath out. Take another breath. And then exhale, face forward, hands come down, forward fold. Inhale to lift halfway. Exhale, bend the knees, hands come down, step the right foot back, finding our runner's lunge shape. Inhale, lift the torso, lift the gaze. Exhale, settle into the feet and soften that back knee a little bit. Press off the feet, base of the exhale, rise into your high lunge. Take a breath. Land. Inhale, lift the fingers, lift the hips. Exhale, spin that back heel down and open up into your warrior two. You can adjust the feet if you need. Eventually, we'll take a full breath in this warrior two. And a full breath out. And then flip this front palm, extend the front leg, inhale, reverse triangle. Exhale, come all the way back to stand. Soften the knees a little bit. Take a breath, reach out with the fingers. And exhale, hinge over this front leg. Your left hand finds this block outside the left foot. Your right arm reaches up. Full breath in. Exhale, top hand comes to the top hip. To find Trikhanasana triangle pose, start from the ground and work your way up. Find the big toe of your front foot, press it down. Find your outer left hip and imagine you could drag it back towards the back of the mat. Notice how that spirals, engages, and lengthens the front leg. Find your pinky toe side of the back foot, root it down. Find your outer right hip and try to drag it forward. It's a very subtle movement. Very slightly rotates the hips. Take a breath with this work. And exhale, sweep this right arm up towards the ceiling. Maybe you roll the top shoulder back, but can you keep the legs strong? And we can still have a bend in the knees here. You can still do this work without locking out the knees. Take a full breath in Trikhanasana. Stay for the exhale. And then soften the knees just a touch so you can press into the feet and rise up to stand. Hands come to the hips. Turn the left toes towards the long edge of the mat. Turn the toes in towards each other a little bit. And then inhale to breathe into the backs of the ribs. Exhale, fold forward, keeping the softness in the knees, relaxing the head, the neck, shoulders down. Couple of breaths in this fold. Take another breath in. And another breath out. And then walk the hands under the shoulders, tent the fingers, lift the gaze. Exhale, bend into the knees and walk the hands up to frame your front foot. I'm just going to grab my blocks. Finding that runner's lunge shape. You can step the back foot out to the right a little bit and a little bit forward if you'd like. Press into the palms, press into your front foot. Inhale, lengthen the front leg. That's your left leg. Back heel is lifted. Exhale, bend into the front knee, runner's lunge. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, bend. This time, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, spin the back heel down. And maybe you step this back foot a little forward and a little out to the right. Press into the palms. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the gaze, lengthen. And exhale, soften the elbows for the fold. Now to keep the stability of the legs, you find your big toe knuckle of the front foot, you press it down. That is your root. Find the outer left hip and imagine you could traction or roll it back. Find the pinky toe side of this back leg and root it down. Find your outer right hip and imagine you could traction it forward. And then breathe here. Take another breath in, pyramid pose. Another breath out. And then if they're not there already, hands with the blocks come under the shoulders, press into the palms and lift a little bit in the torso. Right hand comes to a block and you'll move it towards that front foot to the center of the mat. Your left hand makes a thumbs up. You hook that thumb into the crease of your left hip and you take the fingers and you roll the flesh on that outer left hip back. That already helps us keep the hips stable. Press into the front arm, take a breath, lengthen the spine. And exhale, roll the top shoulder towards the ceiling, twisting over that front leg. Take a breath here. And on the exhale, maybe you sweep that left hand up towards the ceiling. Full breath in. Full breath out. Base of the exhale, top hand comes to that block. You'll soften the front knee and wiggle this back foot back. Runner's lunge. Take a moment here, just land. Maybe you shift a little forward, you shift a little back, reminding that front knee how to bend. And then take the hands forward. Press off the back foot and step to the top of the mat. Take an inhale to lift halfway. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. And then press into the feet, slowly rise up to stand. Inhale, reach the arms up. And then exhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. Take a full breath in mountain pose, just feeling the length of the legs. That integrated sense of the feet being rooted, the legs being active and strong. And how we can soften into that strength in our standing shape. Next inhale, sweep the arms up. Next exhale, fold forward. Inhale to lift halfway. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the palms, and you can step, or hop it back. Vinyasa of your choice, if you would like, will meet in down dog. One of my favorite things to do in this down dog when we arrive there is to just bend into the knees a little bit and then settle into the down dog shape, press into the palms and reach the hips back, feeling the length of the torso as well as the legs. Take a full breath in. Full breath out. And then gently tap the knees down, tabletop. Big toes come together, separate the knees wide, and sink the hips down and back for child's pose. One of my favorite ways to take child's pose lately is to take a block under the chest for a little support in the torso. You could even take a block under the forehead. And take some time here to come back to your breath. One more breath in child's pose. One more breath out. And then base of the exhale, walk the hands under the shoulders, find your tabletop shape. If you'd like to take a cat-cow, around a cat-cow or two, just to sort of feel out the spine, the hips, the shoulders, as we begin to include our practice. You're welcome to do so. Eventually we find our flat back and make your way into a seat. You can either cross shins and roll over the feet, or maybe you take the knees off to one side and sweep the legs forward. Take the legs forward and just tap the knees. And then scooch the hips forward, coming to the middle of your mat. Grab a block and take it with you. Put the lie on your back. Feet are down. Knees are up. And pause. You can close the eyes here. And just let your low back settle into the floor and soften. And then make sure your block is within reach. Root down through the feet. Just make sure they're nice and grounded. You can reach down with the fingers. See if you can graze the heels. And if the heels aren't there, just adjust the heels so that you can reach them. Feet are about hips width apart, more or less. Press into the soles of the feet. And then press into the backs of the upper arms and the shoulders. Feel the chest lift. Take a breath. And on your exhale, use the press of the feet and the shoulders to lift the hips, finding a bridge pose. Take a breath in bridge. On the exhale, scoop the tailbone under a little bit more. Think of the belly moving up towards the chest, and then press into the elbows and the upper arms. You can lift one hand, grab your block, take it underneath the sacrum, that flat part of the low back, and let the sacrum and the hips rest on the block. So the sacrum is usually right around the logo of the leggings or the line of the pants. Somewhere in that range, it feels like a little shelf. Sometimes it takes a little finagling. Just be gentle with the hips. And rest here. I'm just allowing the low back to get some extra lengthening without effort. And we're allowing the front of the hips to lengthen as well. We're also exploring an inversion. Our bridge poses an inversion in the sense that the head, the heart, the lungs are lower than the hips. The head, the mind is lower than the heart. Inversions tend to have a mind quieting effect. A wonderful way to close our practice of heating active movement. Take another breath in, our supported bridge pose. Then another breath out. And then just reconnect to the feet. Feel the ground below the soles of the feet. Reconnect to the backs of the upper arms and feel how the press of those against the ground lifts the chest. And press into the floor to lift the hips just enough to take this block out of the way. Come all the way down to the back. Keep the feet where they are. And then pull the right knee into the chest. Give it a tug. Cross the right ankle over the left knee. And you stay here, or you lift the left leg and you pull the leg in towards the chest, using an interlace of the fingers around the back of that left leg. Notice if the shoulders start to lift, if the head lifts, if the tailbone lifts. Settle the torso down. Tailbone to crown of the head is grounded. If you'd like a deeper sensation on your outer right hip as you breathe into it, imagine you could press your right ankle into your left knee using the muscles of the leg. And then maybe you gently press your left leg into that right ankle using the muscles of the leg. Take a full breath. Full breath out. And then release that left leg down to the ground if you've got it. Unwind the right ankle. Send the right leg forward. Step the right foot down. And we'll do the second side of figure 4. Pull this left knee into the chest, give it a tug. Press the left ankle over the right knee. And you can stay here with the right leg down, or you can pull this right leg into the chest and place the fingers around the back of the right thigh. Again, soften the shoulders, settle the hips. We're not wrenching this right leg down. We're using the arms as extra weight to assist gravity. Breathe into your outer left hip. And if you'd like that added sensation, imagine you could press your left ankle into your right knee using the muscles of the legs. Notice how that engages the left leg as we stretch it. And maybe you try to press your right knee into that left ankle. Take a full breath in. Full breath out. And then gently release that right leg down. Unwind the left ankle, send the left leg forward, and step the foot down. Pull both knees into the chest now. Give yourself a squeeze, a little rock from side to side. And then from here, let's let the knees fall off to the right. You can send the arms wide in a T shape, let the eyes close. Just a breath or two in this twist. Let's take one more breath. And then one more breath out. Base of the exhale, pull the knees back to center. If you shifted the hips at all, just bring it all back to center. And then we'll let the knees fall off to the left. The arms come wide, the eyes close again. lot of the work in class today has been sending the legs in two different directions. This twist is a really nice way to remind the legs how to work together, come together as a unit. We divide our awareness and then we bring it all back to our center. Take one more breath here. One more breath out. And then base of the exhale, send the knees back towards the ceiling. You can give yourself another squeeze, another rock from side to side if you'd like. But then we'll send the legs forward, coming into Shavasana, also known as corpse pose. The feet come about as wide as the mat, or at least wider than the hips. Hands can come to the sides with the palms facing up. If you've got a layer you want to get, or a blanket or something, absolutely go for it. I'm just going to turn down the lights in my area here and grab a sweater. And as you settle into your Shavasana setup and shape, let the eyes close if that feels like a supportive option. And take a deep, full inhale. Open the mouth and sigh the breath out. Settling any amount further into the stillness of Shavasana to close our practice. Take another deep breath in. And slowly sigh out. Just notice what areas of the body feel grounded, connected, rooted to the earth. And then begin to just wiggle the fingers and wiggle the toes. You can reach the arms up on either side of the head and point the feet, taking a full body stretch. And then curl the knees into the chest and wrap the arms around the shins. Give yourself a little tug, a little squeeze, rock from side to side. And allow the knees to fall off to one side, and this time allow the torso to follow. So come to rest fully on one side of the body and pause. Moving slowly with intention, the head being the last thing to rise, press into one palm and slowly peel yourself up, coming to sit face forward with the eyes closed. And as you find the seat to close our practice, allow the hips to feel rooted, the spine to feel long, a balance of effort and ease. Take the palms together in front of the chest and press the base of the thumbs into the breastbone. Take one last full inhale. Open the mouth and slowly sigh it out. Namaste. Thanks, everybody. Have a great week. See you next time.